Hello you guys, it's Katie and welcome back to another video. In today's video I'm sharing with you guys how I am able to crochet full-time as well as my tips for you guys to be able to do so. So before we get started with any of that, I think it is important to talk about my business and how long it took me to be technically making a full-time income, all of that. And full transparency as well, for me personally it depends on if I do a market that month and if or how many orders I do in that month, if you would technically consider it a full-time income or not. And full-time income does of course depend on where you live. What minimum wage is going to be completely different from one state to another, and I'm sure one country to another. So this is all just me talking about my experience and what I think would be good to help you have extra income and hopefully be able to crochet full-time. So as far as how I started my business in high school, which of course was helpful. I got kind of a head start, I guess you could say, compared to if I started my business after high school and had a full-time job or something like that and was trying to do my business on the side. Now I was doing school full-time, so I guess you can kind of say that I did have a full-time job, and more than just full-time school, I was also doing additional college courses. So, you know, it was a lot, and it still is a lot, to be honest. I'm sure you can tell by the amount of patterns I put out and videos I put out and Instagrams and TikToks and all of that. I'm sure you can tell that it's a lot, but that is because I do this full-time now. So I started my business at 17, specifically January 4th of 2020 was when I opened my Etsy shop, and my Etsy shop originally was just physical items. Now it is only digital products, which is crochet patterns or market signs and cards. But like I said, when I started, it was just physical products, and I was posting as often as I could different crochet items that I had already made and trying to sell those items and ship them to people. So after the Etsy shop, I also decided 2 months later in March of 2020 to expand my business to include YouTube as well. And ever since then, I posted 1 video a week starting out while I was still in school and everything, and then after school I started posting 2 videos a week, which I have done ever since and have not missed an upload, by the way. I'm very proud of that. And now it took a very long time, up until recently, I would say, for me to consider it a full-time income. I am lucky that I have very supportive parents, and I was able to live under their roof, and they still pay for majority of things for me and still work on my business full-time, even though it was not making me a full-time income up until recently. And like I already mentioned, it does depend on how many orders I do and if I do a market that month, if it would be considered full-time or just like a part-time income type thing. It fluctuates. And that's a big thing with business too, is it's always going to fluctuate depending on the amount of sales you get, orders you get, all of that kind of stuff. And I have had my business for almost 3 years now. In January of this coming year, it will be 3 years. So it has taken a very long time to get to the point where I even am sort of making a full-time income. Now, if you guys do want to know specifics of how much money I make, I have shared that in market videos for specifically the markets, but then I also am planning to do a video in January of a recap of my full business, almost everything I made. I can't track exactly everything because some of the orders and stuff, but I will have a full breakdown of my income in January for all of 2022. So keep an eye out for that video, but I just thought I would mention that as well because I know some people will be interested in that. Now, as far as tips for how you can crochet full-time, first off, it just takes time, okay? I know this is the main thing that people don't want to hear, but it does just take time. Also, don't mind me, I'm just like waving this pen around. But it seriously does take time and a lot of effort, a lot of hours that go unpaid when you are starting something like this. And I don't even want to think about the amount of time I've put into my business that is unpaid. Like, it's probably so much. But Of course, there is the occasional person that gets really lucky and goes viral with TikTok or Instagram or something like that, and they immediately start having sales and have a full-time income right after starting their business. But for a majority of people, that is not the case, and you will have to work either a regular job or do school at the same time, or whatever it is you do now. You will have to work on your business on the side, on the weekends, in the afternoons, whatever your free time in general, just to get started up and also have your other stuff going on the side that actually makes you money. Now, the biggest thing is going to be just putting yourself out there, whether that is through social media, like I do a lot of, or that is through just word of mouth, or through going to markets or anything like that. You do have to put yourself out there in order for people to know that you're selling products, or that you're selling patterns, or whatever it is you're selling, and in order for you to actually get those sales. So it can be nerve-wracking, but definitely putting yourself out there is the first step to even start making money or sales at all. So obviously, if you are just starting out and you do already have a full-time job, go to school full-time, whatever it is, you are going to have to find that balance, and it is something that's really hard to do. I'm speaking from experience here, and there is a fine line of burning yourself out because you're working too much, and also still trying to get things started and do enough to actually be starting to make money and all of that. So that is something that you have to figure out through trial and error for yourself, depending on all the things you already have on your plate. If you are just in school and you maybe only do a few classes a week or whatever, then it would be a little bit easier to start and put more time into a business than it would be if you work full-time and you have 3 kids and whatever else, you know? So just keep that in mind, and maybe plan things out in advance as well, that you're going to release this specific product this specific week, and you're going to do it this week because you have an extra day off work. It's a 3-day weekend or something along those lines. Now, another thing is just to start selling to family and friends first. That is a great way to go ahead and get your name out in your local area, as well as just start making items for people and orders. And of course, probably sales to family and friends is not going to be enough for full time, but if you do start making enough for family and friends and they like your stuff enough and they post it on Facebook or Instagram or wherever else, you may gain a following from their mutual friends, and so on and so forth, and continue to make sales through that. So that is definitely something that is good, especially for starting out. Also, you guys, something that I wanted to note, all of the orders that I do are still family and friends. I very rarely do orders for other people, sometimes other people that I meet at markets, but most of the time it is family and friends or friends of friends and stuff like that, and I still make a decent chunk of my income from just that. So that's why I'm always emphasizing to you guys to start out with your family and friends and have them spread the word about you selling your items as well, because it really is a powerful thing. And I still get sales, and like I said, almost all of my sales that are not, again, at markets or something like that is through family and friends. So definitely worth it to sell to them and have them mention it to other people as well. Now, markets are the best way I found personally to not only sell a bunch of stuff at once, but also to get your name out there and get even more sales, maybe do orders for people that you meet at those markets, all of that kind of stuff. So I do have a bunch of other business videos, by the way, you guys. I'll link a bunch of them below, as well as the business playlist below. So I would highly recommend checking all of those out. But specifically, I do have a video on how to get started at markets, and that is a great one to check out if you are interested in that. It is something that is nerve-wracking, I know, to do for the first time, and it is something that you have to prepare for a lot in advance, but from my experience, it is definitely worth it, and you will make quite a bit of money all at once. So it is something that I do highly recommend. And again, you can get more sales and more orders from other people through going to those markets, and you can meet other people that may be interested in purchasing from you in the future, even if they can't afford to right now. So I think this is probably the most important thing for you to make enough money in order to crochet full-time, and that is pricing your items accurately. So I have also addressed in a previous video how I price items, but basically I track the amount of time they take me and I set an hourly wage for that amount of time, as well as I include the price for how much the materials cost. So all of that, of course, is things you have to take into account, and you have to decide your own hourly wage. So that is going to depend on where you live, and how much the minimum wage is what I like to go off of. So in Florida, currently it is $11.50, but for crocheting, I would say at least a couple dollars more per hour than the minimum wage, because it is something that is a skill and you've had to learn, so you can charge for that as well. So definitely just make sure that you are pricing accurately, and that is going to help you make more money within your business. And now, the main thing that I want to discuss in this video, and this is probably going to be a long-winded topic, but this is the only reason I'm able to crochet full-time, and that is because I have multiple income sources. So for me specifically, the income sources I have is YouTube, markets, orders, digital products, and affiliate marketing. And those are the ones that I have, but there is also other options, of course, within crocheting for other things you can sell or other things you can do as far as crocheting and what would make you money. So if I do a market that month, then the market is definitely the highest income source for me. If I don't do a market, then YouTube is my highest income source. Now that can always fluctuate. So for example, for December, I have a lot of orders for Christmas that I'm doing for people. So I might end up making more money from orders than YouTube, for example. But as of right now, I make the most money from markets if I do a market that month. If I don't, then I make the most money from YouTube. Now, YouTube is something that is always fluctuating, and when I say YouTube, I just mean making money from ads. I have yet to do a sponsorship from any sort of company, and I'm going to be very picky with sponsorships. I don't want to do sponsored content for a brand that I don't actually like, but that's off topic. But anyways, YouTube is one of my main sources of income. On the low side, and the lowest I've ever made in 1 month, I believe, is around $100 on YouTube, and probably the most is around $400 per month. So it really depends on, first off, what videos I put out, second off, how many Mondays and how many Fridays there are in that month, because I always upload Mondays and Fridays. If it happens to be a month like February where there's less days, then I'm probably going to make less money. It also depends how many views those videos get. If they are really good topics and everybody likes them, and they click on the videos and they watch through more and they watch through more of the ads, then I make more money. If I have a month where the videos don't do as well for whatever reason, then I don't make as much money. And it also depends on the specific channel. So even if I'm making like $300, let's say, in 1 month, and I have the same amount of subscribers and I'm getting the same amount of views as somebody else, that does not mean that they're making the same amount as me. They could be making way more, or they could be making way less. It just depends on each channel and how much advertisers are willing to pay, all of that kind of stuff. Your RPM and CPM. I won't get into all of those nerdy wordings of things because I know most people don't do YouTube. But if that is something you guys are interested in, let me know in the comments, and I would love to do a video for how to start a crochet business on YouTube. Now orders, again, that heavily depends on the time of year. So in December, a lot more people are placing orders with me, and it also heavily depends on how many orders and how much the orders cost. So all of that, but that is an income source for me as well. And then digital products is another one that is probably like my third biggest income source, I would say. So digital products would be my crochet patterns on Etsy and on Ribbler, as well as my other products on Etsy, which I have released recently as of filming this video, is digital products in general. Now, I don't sell physical products on Etsy anymore, just because I have enough on my plate with everything else, but At some point maybe I will again, I don't know, but as of right now it's just digital products, so I just have that as one category. But that does come from Etsy and from Ribbler, where I have crochet patterns on both, and then other products on Etsy as well. And then the final income source that I have is affiliate marketing, which this is something I recommend you do with any business, okay? Affiliate marketing is where if I put a link in the description box and I say this is a product that I really like, you guys should go check it out. If I put a link in the description box that is an affiliate link, that means I get a commission off of whatever the person purchases from that link. For example, in one of my market videos, I talked about the square and how much I really liked it and how it ended up working out for me really well. So I got an affiliate link from Amazon because I am an affiliate with Amazon, and I put it in the description box of that video. And if anybody buys the square from my link specifically on that video, then I will get a commission from that. Now, YouTube is just one way to use affiliate marketing, but I also use affiliate links in my crochet patterns, even if it's a free crochet pattern, for the yarns, for the hooks, for stitch markers, yarn needles, all the materials that I list out in the materials section. I put a link with them as well, and that is an affiliate link. Most of the time for Amazon, just because I know that's easiest for everybody, but I am also an affiliate for Michaels and Hobie and a couple other companies, so sometimes they're affiliate links and sometimes they're not. It just depends. But the big thing to note with affiliate marketing is you do have to have a disclaimer with the links. Wherever you put the links on the crochet patterns, on the YouTube videos, in the description, or just verbally tell people. But either way, you have to have some sort of disclaimer that it is an affiliate link and you will make a portion of the profit of that sale. Now, it is never a big portion. Depending on the affiliate program, ones like Amazon, because they have so many different affiliates and pretty much anybody can sign up, is a lot lower for how much you're going to make for the commission. But for other ones like Michaels and Hobie, those I do make a little bit more off of the sale if you guys buy from those links, just because they are a little bit more exclusive, I guess you could say. It is harder to get into them, and it took me having quite a few followers in order to actually become an affiliate with those companies. All of that is things to note, but Amazon is definitely a great one to start out with for no matter how big your business is, and Amazon has literally everything, so you can link anything and everything that you would need to link for your business. So that's also some ideas for different income sources for you. But the big thing to note is the only way a full-time income with crocheting is possible for me is with multiple income sources. Now, I can't speak for other people that crochet. I'm sure there are some people that crochet full-time and all they do is orders and that's their full-time income. And I'm sure there's some people that crochet that all they do is YouTube and that's their full-time income. But majority of people that I follow at least release crochet patterns, as well as they do Instagram content and they get paid for that Instagram content, as well as they make YouTube videos. They're all over the place, just like I am. And that is kind of just one of those things that it is necessary in order to crochet full-time, to have those multiple income sources. Again, I want to put it out there that not every single month would be considered a full-time income for me. So it really just depends, again, on how many orders I take on, how many patterns I release even, or if I have a sale on my Etsy, something like that as well gets me more sales. So it's all just going to depend, and it's all over the place. Also, like I mentioned with YouTube, it depends what videos I'm putting out. As I'm sitting here currently, the videos are getting a lot of views that I've been putting out recently, so I'm making more money than normal. But who knows, in a month it could be completely different for me. So I have no idea. Even day by day it's different with YouTube especially. So one thing that I've heard from a bunch of entrepreneurs, not even just in the crochet world, but entrepreneurs in general, and I think this is really important to note, is if you are going to replace your full-time job with a side hustle, so in this case the side hustle would be your crochet business, and you already work a full-time job, you want to make sure that your crochet business is making you more money than the full-time job. Even if it's just a little bit more, but you want to make sure that it's making you more than the full-time job to make sure it's worth it to quit that full-time job for the side hustle. So I hope that makes sense, that basically in order to do the side hustle as a full-time job, you should make sure that you are making as much as the full-time job and probably even a little bit more in most cases to make sure that you'll be good, especially if you have a month where you get less sales or less orders, that type of thing. But anyways, you guys, I have definitely rambled enough in this video, so I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please do give it a big thumbs up and leave me a comment down below letting me know if you found this video helpful, or if you have any other business tip video ideas that you would want to see from me. Like I mentioned, maybe one for starting a crochet YouTube channel. If you guys wanted to see that, definitely let me know in the comments down below. And if you guys did enjoy this video and you want to make sure you don't miss out on any of my future videos, make sure you hit the subscribe button down below and turn on the post notification bell. That way you know every single time I upload a brand new video. And just so you know, liking and subscribing and commenting, all of that stuff really does help out my channel, and it helps videos like this get out to other people that may want to watch them as well. So I really do appreciate that, and thank you in advance. And if you do want to check out more from me in general, you can always check out more videos of mine, my blog, my Etsy shop, my Ribbler shop, all of my social medias, and my second channel. All of that is always included in the description box of every video for you guys. And with all of that, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I will see you guys here in the next one. Goodbye!